on a short cycle that I've been doing with my 8th graders is for the earthworm dissection. This takes about 5 days total from beginning to end, including notes, a lab, and quiz. So there's 2 forms of assessment. So part of my entire cycle, I have the plan that the kids can see. Included in this cycle are 2 different types of I can statement. We have skills, so for this one, it's about I can perform an external and an internal dissection of an earthworm. And for content, they have to know I can identify organs and systems, I can describe how a worm can adapt in order to survive, and I can infer symmetry. So these were the 4 I can statements that they'll be assessing. And how they're going to do that for this part of the cycle is that they have to get a 70% or higher on the quiz. They're also going to be doing an assessment as a lab, as a hands-on skill assessment. And a hands-on review is something that they'll also be doing when I come around and ask them to identify things in the lab. I will be demonstrating the earthworm through a flipped lesson that the kids will be watching before they come to school at home and answering some questions on a Google form. And then the hands-on review is something that they do part of the lab. And then the students will complete the dissection. They will study and prepare for their quiz that they'll be taking here shortly. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at our data after we've completed our assessment, being the dissection, the hands-on practical where I came around and talked to you, and then the clicker quiz. So here's our clicker quiz results, and according to our learning goal, remember the 70% bar is where we want to hit. So each one of you is a colored bar. I'm not telling you who's who, of course, and no, they are not alphabetically. You could see when I drew the bar in, 9 of you fell below the bar. Now some of you is just 1 question below. Some of you it's more than 1 question. So now that we've gone through the short cycle and we think about what we've done, including the dissection, the notes, the flipped lesson, where you watched to learn before you came here, and taking the quiz, it's time to give feedback. So stuff that was good, that helped you hit the 70% bar, or if you didn't, maybe, because you all know what it said on your clicker, what are some things we can change before we do our crayfish dissection, which is about 2 weeks away, so we can all get from here to here. So take a minute and then give me, I need a positive and or a negative, whatever you can come up with. Anybody have a positive and or negative? Cammy.
I didn't really care for it because it smelled bad.
Okay, it smelled bad. All right, I will see how I can improve that.
I said like the tour.
You like the tour.
You gave us a tour.
So the tour is a positive. So when we do the
Yeah.
crayfish, I should make sure I come around and give you a tour. All right, positive. Yes.
I like the points how you did the little tests after
liked-
you dissected it.
So you like the lab practical. You like when I came around and said, show me what you know. Okay, got it. Yes.
I just like the dissection in general.
It's a good learning tool. So we should. So you prefer virtual, real, or both? Real only? Was the virtual helpful?
In some ways it kind of wasn't.
So we're kind of half and half on the virtual. Yes.
I liked how you made us dissect it instead of you.
Okay, so it was a good thing that you had to do it. Did you feel you learned more because you actually did it yourself?
Yeah.
Yes. Any other stuff?
When we were working with diagrams this whole unit, we were working with a diagram of a worm that's alive and stuff, but you didn't really give us a diagram of what the worm looked like when it was open, so we couldn't just see the anatomy of it until the day that we started the dissection.
Okay. So maybe the virtual dissection, now there you saw live pictures, right? So you would like a worksheet with live pictures on it, is what you're telling me. So somehow I should provide a live picture in a review tool. Okay, not just diagrams, drawings. Gotcha. Yes, cool.
In some ways I agree with him, in some ways I don't.
Okay.
There's situations where the diagrams aren't very clear, and I always think the diagrams help a lot when they are clear, but a lot of the live pictures I couldn't tell what I was pointing at, and then some of the pictures that if they weren't alive or they were graphic, it was easier to tell what it was pointing at.
So we're kind of like, that's a good point to make, because live stuff is easier to see when you're looking at it, but in a picture, like a digital picture, it's not always the best. Where a drawing sometimes makes it much more clear. On your final assessment, your test, I'm going to tell you now, it's a drawing. It is not a live picture, so it's clear. Max, nice and loud.
I liked how we the drawings in the packet.
Okay.
Like, we drew it and we labeled it in the packet.
So you felt you creating your own drawings helps you learn more. Perfect. Any other positives or negatives I can take back before we do our crayfish dissection? This is good feedback. Okay, wonderful.